So I'm going to do a quick video to show you how to flock a box, and this is what we are going to be working towards doing. This was the very first one I have done, and I just made sure that I put a lot of paint on and a lot of flock, and it's turned out pretty well. So we have flocking kits, and they come in 6 colours. We have pink, lavender, green, blue, red and grey. And in the kit you get a plastic bottle which serves as the puffer for dispersing the flock. You get paint or glue with acrylic paint in it, and you obviously get the flock, and this is nylon flock. In the instructions they recommend wearing a mask and safety glasses, but I suspect that's a bit over the top. You can use a mask if you're concerned about the very fine fibres. The other recommendation is that you have something that you can put the article into that you are flocking, and so I have a plastic box. They do suggest a plastic bag, but I found out from doing the first one that it's actually quite hard to get the flock off the plastic bag. So you have that ready, you don't need it initially, and you'll need some masking tape. So you have to mask around that top edges of the article that you are wanting to flock, because you obviously do not want to be getting flock on the edges. This is just cheap masking tape and it seemed to work all right. Once you've got the box the masking tape on, the next thing that you have to do is to put the paint inside on the surfaces that you want to flock. And one of the things that they do say is to make sure that you have a relatively even and quite thick layer of the paint, because the paint has actually got the glue in it. So with just an ordinary kiddie's paintbrush, which is what I've got, you pour some, I'll give it a shake, and then pour some into the box and spread it around. And you can, like you can with the flock, you can sort of, or you may have to take some of the paint out. So you just spread it around. It's pretty easy. No skill required, which is just as well, because I'm not an artist. So one of the things that is important is that once you've got the paint in, while it is still wet is when you have to put the flock on. So it's best to have the flock, put it into your puffing bottle, or there are what are called mini flocker or mini flock applicators, which you can buy, that are actually probably a lot easier to use. They're a bit more like a balloon inflating pump. So it's all covered, and it's probably worth sort of just smoothing out any big lumps, because the flock is going to sit in and on the glue in the paint, so you don't want to have great big lumps of paint. Right, so it looks like that. Make sure you've gone all the way up to the top. Paint your fingers a bit, but it's all painted. Then you put the box in the plastic container or whatever other container it is that you have, and you go puff. So I'll just move the video. I'll probably shake now because I'm holding it, but you're just puffing. There's no particular skill required, and you need to make sure you get it everywhere. So I'll just put this down. Right, sorry about the interlude. So I couldn't hold the camera and put the flock in, but you just puff and you make sure it goes everywhere. And if you use, like they say, just keep going when you think you've got enough, keep doing a bit more. So you can see there is miles of flock in there. But because you've done it inside a container, you actually can retrieve it all. So if it doesn't stick in 24 hours, you just knock it very carefully out and put it back into the plastic bag. And that's it. That's how easy it is. You now just have to be a bit patient and leave it for 24 hours. And I will take the tape off and do the rest of it tomorrow. Okay, so 24 hours is up and we can have a look and see what has happened with our box. So you can see there is an awful lot of flock in there that is just loose. It has this additional or excess over what was required to stick. A bit of flock everywhere. And then hopefully when you remove the tape, you have a nice crisp edge. If you don't, you can sort of tidy it up a bit by either light sand, or if you've got a really sharp blade, you could probably use a very sharp blade. Okay, one last. And there is the finished article. So it has a really nice soft feel to it, relatively consistent in how it looks. And all of this that is left in the bottom of here, you can put back in the plastic bag.